I believe that YouTubers need to think of themselves as business owners. The Business Model Canvas is the tool that all business owners should be using, and this session is going to help you understand what it looks like when we apply this tool to YouTubers and content creators.
Nick, so nice to hang out with you and dig into business models and revenue streams, because I just filled that one out for Orbit as a whole, and I hope that we can figure out what the product is that we're going to sell next year. It's such a fun tool, and probably the first thing that got me started on the whole building a business thing, but I've always applied it to the YouTube channel and how to make a better YouTube channel with that.
The Business Model Canvas is a catalyst for better thinking. It's also a catalyst for telling stories about how your business will work. And there is no one way to tell a great story. There is a general frame, which is beginning, middle, and end. And you've got that within there. You've got the different building blocks, but you decide how it goes. And even stories can begin in the end. Actually, there's a difference between telling the story and working it out.
Right.
When you work it out, it's almost like seeing a puzzle on the floor. You just pick up a piece and just start.
Let's talk about some product ideas that I have on my mind.
Solo Creator Community. This to me would be a subscription, but tell me if I'm wrong.
That is a subscription model. That is an online community for the pro creators. That is effectively a co-working space, a creativity gym, a place that solves creator loneliness.
Do you see how it's got its own value proposition and everything?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Creator handbook. Go on.
There's no shortage of creator advice out there. But what I would like to create is a textbook full of exercises rather than do this and then do that. It's not the descriptive, you have to make videos in this format and that cadence and whatever. It's just, here are, let's say, 12 exercises that are going to make you a better creator, period. Regardless of where you are in your journey. It's kind of what I've been building into the newsletter, but in a, physical form, more or less.
Got it.
The wall calendar is something, I'm big on paper. I need to have stuff on my wall to know what I'm doing. And what really got me through the second season is something like this, 12 pieces of content in 12 weeks, or, 12 pieces of content in 12 days or 12 months, whatever. But that number of 12, I think, is a good number. And I could make that I could make that a lead magnet. Very easy, actually. It doesn't have to be a thing.
That sounds, so actually the revenue stream for the wall calendar, important to put this, free.
Okay, interesting.
We actually put that down there because that's what it is.
Yeah, until right now I thought of it as a digital download that you can buy for a couple, whatever, euros. But that would be a perfect lead magnet.
So we just need to set up the systems for making that work.
Yeah, okay. One-on-one coaching, I think, is really obvious. It's something I could do.
For me, that would be a program fee. What do you think?
Yeah, probably better than doing one-off sessions.
Yeah. You could do one-off sessions, but
in general, I'm not hot on one-on-one coaching. It's very time-intensive, but it's there, right? It's an option that we have. More interesting is the next one, live group workshops. That could be a program. That could also be just paid ticketing. Could be a thing. The small mastermind is my way of not doing the big community. Because I could get a very small group of people, less than 10 people together, where we work together on a very specific niche. Let's say video podcast creators. And it's a 6-month mastermind where we work together to get an outcome, right? Creator tech consultant, we talked about that. Like I said, there is a lot of creator startups that value creator knowledge, and I could deliver some real value to them to build something that actually works.
So would that be a per day consultancy fee?
I think it would be more a project fee, because per day, I don't know. I'd rather have like a flat fee on something like that.
Notion templates.
Yeah, very common thing exists out there. I could systematize my whole backend and sell it as a template. Yeah, it's an option.
Editing
plugins. We all use little tools to make the life a little bit better. That's not something that exists right now, but it's something I could make. Could be.
That's a lot of work, but it could be great.
Yeah, it could be a huge like evergreen piece, right?
Because like I use Motion VFX, they now even have they're
Motion
making
VFX
money.
is amazing.
They're making money like crazy.
Do I want to compete with them? Not really.
Yeah.
I'd rather just promote what they're doing, but it's an option. Creator trips. That's the IRL experience, right? Could I organize a creator retreat in the mountains, at the beach, at some cool location for, a very small group of people, 12 people? Do that 3 times a year? Massive business.
Happy Startup School, that's how they survive.
Interesting. But like if you think of the meditation, well-being space, fitness thing, that's a massive thing. You organize retreats once a year. And actually one thing I completely forgot to put in there is the in-person events. I think that shows you how I feel about them right now.
How this changed, because we've had earlier conversations which are recorded.
Yeah.
That I was digging into this and said it's a lot of effort, and you were defending it strongly. But now you're like, don't know.
You make the strongest connection in person. That is true. And that is where immense value comes from. And it's a completely different mental space than creating content. And those two don't go together very well, for me at least. So that's why I see this choice between, do I go left, do I go right? I could go hard into in-person experiences. I could also, if there was a person that wants to take charge over those, it would become way easier. Because not only does it create really high connection between people, it also, I've gotten real-time feedback from companies that would be really happy putting money into this. Because everybody does online advertising, but in person is way more interesting, and you need a lot fewer people than online to make this worth it.
Oh, by the way, going back to in-person events, I put ticket fee. Was there a different way that you could see making money from those?
The way I think of in-person events is through sponsorships. And it's free for people to attend, but it is paid by 4 companies.
Of everything that you've said, I would say pretty much all of it is dependent on you having a successful YouTube channel. The more successful your YouTube channel, the more people will join your solo creator community, the more people will download your creator handbook, download your wallpaper, get the one-on-one coaching, want to join live group workshops, even do small masterminds, because more people will know who you are. They see what you're doing and they say, I like this guy. I want to be part of this. Whereas the in-person events could become very successful as a result of a YouTube channel. But as you said, word of mouth could be the channel, because you get other creators to do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas all the other ones, apart from maybe the solo creator community, like really need you to have a successful YouTube channel.
Everything benefits from having a larger YouTube presence.
Yeah, all of them.
I mean, maybe the tech consultation doesn't need a massive following.
That's true. But the bigger your channel, the more eyeballs on it, the more tech creator creator tech companies see you.
Yeah.
So it's all like your YouTube, the success of your YouTube channel has a big impact on all of this.
I have to make a decision now for what am I going to focus on next year. Am I going to launch something in January? Ideally. Am I going to be ready? Who knows? But I want to lay down the foundation for what is the offer next year, right?
If if how much do you like the in-person events one?
I go back and forth on it.
Okay.
On one hand, it's the easiest. I could make that happen really quick. Make 2-3 calls in the next week and just commit to doing 12 meetups next year. And I have money in the bank. That could be a thing.
Oh, what? Sorry. So that's good.
Yeah.
I was actually also thinking about the creator trips.
Oh, okay. The creator trips.
So I called it in-person events, but I meant creator trips.
I've never done one. I've always wanted to do one. They sound really exciting. They sound really fun.
Because this is one that you can test. So, like, if we're jumping to assumptions and just identifying tests, this is so easy to test. Because just say you're going to do one and speak to some creators and say, "Will you come?" And
yes, you're right.
And say it's going to cost this much approximately, but it's possible that it could change. But this is roughly the location. This is roughly the vibe. This is roughly the price. And say it could change though. Can I put your name down on the list for people that are registering interest list?
I have two thoughts entered my mind. The one is executing that would take me away from creating content 100%.
Yep.
But I should be able to find a travel agent who I could outsource this whole project to.
Wrong.
Okay.
Like we're talking about, so when we look at the business model, let's zoom out of the business model. Right. So you've got three things. You've got here, this yellow box is desirability. The value proposition, the customer relationship, the channel.
Mm-hmm,
Do they want it?
Okay.
Yeah. Number one. That's number one. Number two, feasibility. Okay. Can we build it? And then number three, viability. Should we do it? Because are we going to make money from it? Now, I think that the travel agent can help you first and foremost with feasibility, right? Making it happen. Yeah. And also viability in terms of like costs and everything, and give you some advice around this side of things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And from their experience, they might have some experience with nice retreats and stuff that people like, but they're not experts in pro-creators, pre-creators, and non-creators.
In terms of what they need.
In terms of what they need and what they want.
Yeah, okay.
And also, you're the one that has the connection with that audience. And so step one is not saying, oh, where should we go and what should we do? You could even tell them we haven't decided where we're going yet, but it will be within Europe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. To keep the costs down, you could say it's most likely to be within Europe, and it's most likely to be around this time, and it's most likely to be around this price, because you just have you do a very quick viability test to look at roughly what it costs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go to your audience and say, we're doing this program. I'm just registering for this retreat. We're just trying to register interest to see if it's going to be possible. Do you want to do it? If you want to find out about it and be kept up to date with it, share your email, and then we'll let you know once we've got the dates finalized so that you can sign up and get your early bird pricing.
Right.
Okay, this is not about feasibility so much. This is not about viability so much. It's first about having done like less than a day's work. I would say it's 2 hours to decide a first rough draft where is it, when is it, what will we be doing roughly? And so within 2 hours, you should be ready to say, I'm just registering interest. This is roughly what it is, and mock up like a flyer for it, and then see if you can get people to register. This is what I believe. If you create a flyer for this, you will not get one person even give you their email to say, I'm not committing, I just want to find out more when it's ready, let me know. If you actually can get like 20 or 30 people to just give their email that are pro-creators or pre-creators, that's evidence. And we haven't spent any time or any money, because we only took a couple of hours to create a little flyer with a little bit of research to make the flyer.
Yeah, because the interest is there. I have that from casual interactions.
Word of mouth interest is different from them signing up with an email.
100%.
Because this is the mum test. I believe that no creator that you speak to in any event, when you tell them I'm thinking about doing a retreat, they go, yeah, of course I'd do that. Yeah, of course. I love that idea. And then when you say, show me the money, they money. Don't have so much money right now, and being a creator is tough. And like,
okay, here's a funny idea, a funny test. I am going to a creator conference in a month from now, and I could legit just put down flyers with a QR code. No like attachment to who I am or what I do. Simply, here's an idea.
That's jumping a whole step of the assumptions map and identifying the top test to do. But this is a very low difficulty test to run, right? So we can just get that test happening.
I'm tempted to jump into Canva right now and just look for flyer templates.
I would do that because I believe that you can make, there's evidence to suggest that a retreat where everyone is paying between 2,000 and 5,000 euros each to join, you could make, and if you have at least 20 to 30, ideally 30 people on this retreat, 20 to 30 people, and they're paying like probably 3,000 to 5,000 euros, you can make profit on that. You'd have to do a quick numbers check to say how much, because there's two things that they're paying you for. They're paying you as an organizer of this to organize it. So some of the fee goes towards that. But people don't like paying that part, but that is part of what they're paying for. And then what they're also paying for is for the accommodation and the activities that they'll be doing and any people involved in that. So that's got to be paid for. And then on top of that, they have to pay their flights separately.
Every time we chat, I just like ideas immediately come to my mind because yes, but what if we have a sponsor on board and the sponsor covers travel expenses?
Okay, even easier.
Yeah.
You same time as making the flyer and sharing with people to get them to sign up for it, you also reach out to sponsors and say, I'm doing this event. Will you sponsor it? How much? And say how much you want for it, and then see if they agree.
Yeah. Okay. This. Okay. Not the direction I thought this is gonna go.
Well, I just believe that in terms of at the moment, right? As we said, the success of so many of the revenue streams is dependent on your YouTube channel being successful.
Okay. Actually, a thing that's not displayed on this canvas right now is the real goal I want to hit next year is 100,000 euros in revenue, right? And I guess that's also becomes part of the question. Which of these ideas can lead to that outcome?
In-person events is doable. If you do 3 or 4, creator trips is possible. If you do 3 or 4 of those, and they're working with creators paying for it and sponsors, you could make 100,000.
And this could actually lead to more content in a weird way, in a roundabout way, because the planning, the organization of it, like all the administrative stuff for that would take away from producing content.
Massively.
But once we're there in person, set up 30 interviews with everybody who's there, and that's a year's worth of content
Right there.
and then it becomes a flywheel, because it's like, hey, we did these interviews on this trip to blah blah blah, and here is such and such, and that's their story.
And then people should start saying, when's the next one?
That is a very interesting flywheel.
And it's not dependent on starting with a YouTube channel.
Hey, real quick, if you enjoyed this conversation, if you're learning something, you might also like the Orbit newsletter, something I write every week to help you become a better creator. Every Friday, I share a simple framework or a practical exercise that you can start using immediately. Regardless if you are a complete beginner or a seasoned professional, my goal with this is to make it the best creator resource out there, help you see things from a new perspective, give you a little exercise that helps you level up your game. So sign up via the link below. It's completely free, and I would love to have you there, because it also keeps you up to date on the whole Orbit journey. How is it going with building a home for creators? What does it actually mean? A little, behind the scenes weekly update. And at the bottom, I always share my favorite things I've seen this week, good content that inspires you over the weekend. So with that out of the way, let's get back to the show. Can we play this thought experiment through with the creator community?
Let's just have a quick look at the questions that I wanted to ask first.
Okay.
But we're not going to go deep into them, because that's not the most bang for buck we're going to get from the session. How large and attractive is the untapped market potential we're going after? There is little untapped potential and the market is shrinking, or the market potential is large and not yet occupied and growing. What number would you put for pro creators and pre-creators on this scale of -3 to +3?
I think the market potential is large. It is becoming more occupied.
So what would you put it? A 1 or a 2 then? Or a 3?
Let's put it at a 2.
Do we have large scale and ideally direct access to our end customers? We have limited market access and depends on intermediaries to get our products and service to customers and interact with them. We have large scale market access and own the channels and relationships with end users of our products and services.
I mean, at the moment, with the audience size, we have a limited market access.
So we put this as -2, -1, 0, +1. What would you put it as?
If I'm honest, I would put it at -3.
I would say you're -2, no?
Okay.
Because you're better than some people that haven't even got a channel and aren't doing LinkedIn.
Okay, fair.
No, hold on. Because you have in-person relationships with a lot of creators as well.
Sure.
Like you've put on events that have worked.
Yeah.
So let's go +1. Let's
Okay.
go +1. But are you Matt Diavella?
No.
He can create a new channel from scratch and immediately get like 60,000 views on every video.
Yeah, just from his newsletter.
Yeah. That is ridiculous. So that is like +3. You're like between 0 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I like to underestimate myself.
You've got something, but can you make a living just from like starting to make some digital products for a community today? No. Gravity creators, how easy or difficult is it for customers to leave or switch to another company? All our customers could theoretically leave us immediately without incurring direct or indirect switching costs. I think that's correct already. Our customers are locked in for several years and they would incur significant direct and indirect switching costs if they left.
I find that hard to answer.
You're targeting pre-creators and pro-creators, creating educational, experiential, long-form videos, and your value proposition to them is help them remove self-doubt and unlock sustainable life balance that leads to a rich life. You're helping them do that. Mm-hmm. But how hard is it for them to just find somebody else to help them do that instead? At the moment, incredibly easy.
I think it's hard for me because I think there's nobody else offering what I'm offering.
Okay. I would say that at the moment you're wrong. that it's incredibly easy for
Okay.
your audience to switch to another provider of what you're offering at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
If you create a paid community and it's subscription and it's like they have to pay for a year, if they pay for a year, they get it for a cheaper price. Now we've
at the moment, yes, you're correct.
Backstage, resource castles. Do we own key resources that are difficult or impossible to copy, which give us a significant competitive advantage? This is exactly what we're talking about with intellectual property. Our key resources are significantly inferior to those of our competitors. Our key resources can't easily be copied or emulated for the next couple of years, and they give us a significant... I would say you're on a +1 here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because of your video content and LinkedIn posts and stuff like that. Yeah. But in terms of like lead magnet stuff, that's missing. Activity differentiators. Do we create significant value for customers because we perform and configure activities in a disruptively innovative way? We operate conventional activities that perform similar or worse to comparable organizations. Our key activities can't easily be copied or emulated for the next couple of years, and they give us significant competitive advantage.
What do you think?
I think you're very conventional at the moment.
Yeah. Sad but true.
Yeah. Don't worry. Also, these are harsh questions, and most companies do badly on this. So
Good.
The fact that you've got a +2 and a +1, you're doing well. You're doing well.
Great.
So scalers, how rapidly and how easily can we grow our business model without substantial additional resources and activities? Growing our business and customers is resource intensive, or our revenues and customer base can easily grow and scale without a lot of additional resources and activities. If we go down the route of retreats and events, that is a -3, or that's like low. But if you go down the route of community,
digital space,
+3.
Yeah.
So I'll put +3 for now. Revenue differentiators. Do we use strong revenue streams and pricing mechanisms to monetize value for creation for customers? We mainly have unpredictable and transactional revenues that require constant cost of sales. We have predictable and recurring revenues where one sale leads to years of revenue.
With the community, it's a 2 or 3.
But at the moment, it's a 0. Like you don't.
Yeah. At the moment, there's nothing there.
There's nothing. Cost differentiators. Is our cost structure conventional or disruptive? Our cost structure is significantly less effective than those of our competitors. Our cost structure is significantly more effective. At the moment, you've got low costs. So I'd actually put you as like a +1 maybe.
Oh, okay. Now I understand the question. Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
You've got low costs. If you think of yourself competing against other creators, then maybe it's about the same.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was about the cost that the product is, but it's about the cost that we have, our overhead, right?
Yeah. Do we have strong margins from low cost and high prices? We have very thin margins due to our cost structure and weak pricing power. We perform worse than comparable organizations. If you do the retreats, you will be here.
Correct.
Unless you have sponsors, which will put you here.
Mm-hmm.
We have very strong margins from an optimized management of costs and strong pricing. If you do the community, you will be here.
Yeah.
So was that useful in terms of those questions for thinking about things?
To summarize this, I feel like going down a retreat option is a more conventional way to get to a large sum of revenue in a year. Yeah. That is 100% possible. But it doesn't necessarily translate to scalability or large profits.
Yeah.
If we go down the community route, the digital community route, it's also very easy to start, but it might not be very profitable in the beginning, but has a huge potential down the road.
If you can grow your YouTube.
Yeah, or word of mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
But with every new community member, the margins get bigger.
Yeah. 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine you failed at doing the retreat business.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if you focused on that more heavily, but it meant that you weren't able to make YouTube videos as much. And so you have like but what if you'd focused more on the videos more? Would you feel like that? Or would you be okay with having used your runway to build a retreat business?
I think I would feel a lot of regret in that scenario.
Well, that seems okay. And imagine in 15 years from now, and you're still looking back again and it failed. How would you feel?
Well, in 15 years from now, hopefully something else worked out. So it's like, okay, whatever. Like, this too shall pass. It's fine.
Okay. So if you go down the community approach, and it fails in 2 years' time, and it's failed, and you had to get another job after, or find other work that's not your YouTube channel, how would you feel compared to?
Yeah, no, it's immediate. At least I would say, at least I tried.
Yeah. Okay. So to me, also, if you go down the YouTube model and creating a community, the YouTube approach and community model, and it fails, how quickly can you jump ship and earn money in a different way?
With the community model, I mean,
no,
instantly. Or
I mean, if this doesn't work, once your runways run out,
okay,
but you've decided to go for the YouTube approach, community, building the community, which has massive potential. Like you can make great money from that once it's successful, because it's so scalable. But if it fails in the sense that you can't make it generate enough revenue for you in the medium term, how long does it take you to make money that's got nothing to do with anything on this business model canvas?
I could get a job tomorrow, probably.
Have you got evidence? Like, do you feel like actually most people would not say it with as much confidence as you, but you in the past have been able to get jobs very quickly. I've
always been able to get a job, and it might not be a job that fulfills me, but there's always a need for people carrying out the mail or, checking parking tickets. And I don't know, there's tons of jobs that need people. So
based off of the questions that I've asked, what answer is emerging for you here?
I basically already decided that before the call, right? Like, but I think my gut tells me I have to go down the community route and just give it a shot.
That's what your heart tells you?
Yeah.
I have to, you said.
Yeah.
Why do you have to?
Because I've been thinking about it forever, and it's a thing I've been talking about. That's what I'm doing. I'm building a community. So it would be a massive fail if I don't try it, even if I end up rich and famous.
Got it. Got it. What does your head say that you should do? Analytically now, cold, harsh facts. What are you going to do for the next 6 months?
The purely rational side of my brain says, go find a way that you can make stable money and do everything else on the side.
Oh, we haven't discussed this yet.
No, because the whole creator thing has a massive upside, but it's a huge gamble.
Yeah.
It is going to a casino and playing roulette. And
so what does your gut tell you? Different from your heart, your gut, just deep in the bottom of your gut, what does it tell you?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Go for it.
So it sounds like you've got 2 against 1. The heart and the gut seem aligned. The head is slightly, maybe not so much in alignment. Based off of this, what do you feel you should do now going forward?
I should build up to launching the community.
Great.
I should test the waters and look for indicators.
So to me, in this session, we've gone through our business model canvas, assessed it, added the actual revenue streams, agreed that we're not focusing on creator trips or in-person events between now and January. We are focusing on the solo creator community. Yep. I've been the devil's advocate. Yeah. I've really tried to push the case for them, but the heart wants what the heart wants, and the gut agrees. And the head doesn't sound like it's that. The head sounds like it can be swayed at this time.
The head just needs a little bit more hard evidence.
Yeah. How do you feel about the session?
Good. It's always with these sessions they can become slightly intense, but in the end they're always really eye-opening. And I feel like maybe I forced it a little bit in that direction because I already had an answer in my mind before. But at the very least, I have a very solid business case to make about a different project if I choose to go down that route. And that's cool. So yeah, always helpful. Definitely some aha moments. Really nice to get your perspective. And I mean, I saw 2 new tools. The, what do you call it? The assumptions map and the assessment questions for leaders. Sounds super smart, but yes, it's
actually helpful though.
It's super helpful. Yeah, it's hard-hitting questions, which is what you need. Nick, real quick, for the sake of a video, where can people find you? What's the best way to stay in your orbit?
YouTube, Nick Himo. Subscribe, check those videos out, and connect with me on LinkedIn. All
right. That was it. That was my chat with Nick, my coaching session. I really hope this was insightful to you, inspiring to you. And if you're new here, my name is Valentin. This is the Orbit for Creators YouTube channel. And if you watched until the end, first of all, thank you. I really appreciate it. Second of all, I think you have an idea now what's coming down the pipe. So if you're interested in joining a creator-focused community that helps you live a rich life, check out the link below and sign up for the waitlist. With that out of the way, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.